We do the laryngoscopy. How much is the glottic opening visible? Whether we are doing with a direct laryngoscopy or video laryngoscope, how much is the glottic opening visible? On that depends how easily we can put our endotracheal tube. And when this visibility of glottic opening is not very good with direct laryngoscopy, when should we switch to video laryngoscope? And even if I don't switch to the video laryngoscope, in what circumstances I should take the help of the airway adjuncts? Everything we will discuss in this section. So glottic opening, view grading, and when we need to switch to video laryngoscope. So how do we do, when we do the laryngoscopy, we have to lift the vallecula. So you can see this is the median array epiglottic fold, median, or I should say median glossoepiglottic fold. We have to lift this glossoepiglottic fold, and when we lift this, this epiglottis gets lifted up and the glottic opening is visible. Now, how much is the glottic opening visible? On that depends the successful endotracheal tube endotracheal intubation. So, when we lift the epiglottis, what do we see? We see the vocal cords. We have lifted up the vallecula. We see this is the epiglottis, this is the arytenoid, and this is array epiglottic fold. Now, this is the anterior part of the glottis and this is the posterior part. Remember, like this. Okay. Now, what is the other opening in which our endotracheal tube can go? The esophageal opening. So, if this is my glottic opening, this is the esophagus. This is the esophagus. This is the Ryle's tube in the esophagus, right? This is the esophagus. Got it? Okay. So we need to know and understand how does the esophagus look. Okay. So let me bring a view in which the glottic opening and the esophageal opening is seen in a proper manner. So this is the glottic opening and this is the esophageal opening, and your tube can easily slip into esophagus if your eyes are not on the tube when it is crossing the glottic opening. So that's why it is always said the best way that to confirmation the tube has gone into glottic opening is when you see the tube is entering the glottic opening, right? Okay, so how much the glottic opening is visible? What is the scoring system we do to identify that? Now there are two scoring system, right? There are two scoring system to describe view of the glottis obtained by laryngoscopy, right? The first one is Cormack Lehane grading system. Lehane grading system. Now this was described in direct laryngoscopy, indirect laryngoscopy, and the original Cormack-Lehane grading system has 4 grades. Later on, it was modified to modified Cormack-Lehane grading system, in which one of the grade was given, let's say, was divided into 2 more grades, which we'll talk about, and further modification. So 2 modification was done in Cormack-Lehane grading system. First, it had 4 grade, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then later on in modification, the modified Cormack-Lehane 1, 2A, 2B, 3 and 4, and then further modification was done in which 1, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B and 4 was 4 grades was identified. Now there is the other grading system which I want to talk about is POGO, that is percentage of glottic opening visible. So we have something called POGO, percentage of glottic opening visible, right? Now this give us that when we do the laryngoscopy, how much the glottic opening is visible, what percentage of the glottic opening from anterior commissure to the interarytenoid, how much it is visible, right? So POGO gave us a more precise estimate of the opening of the glottic opening, more precise estimate of the glottic opening compared to the Cormack-Lehane. For video laryngoscopy, we particularly use this POGO score, right? For direct laryngoscopy, we can use the Cormack-Lehane grading system and POGO score as well. So let's first discuss what is Cormack-Lehane grading system. Cormack-Lehane grading system. So as I said that this provides a general description using four categories. So what are those four categories and what is seen? So the original Cormack-Lehane grading system, the original Cormack-Lehane scale. Now grade 1 was when the entire glottic opening was visible. Then the grade 2 was when only the anterior part was this anterior was covered, only the posterior part of the glottic opening was visible, posterior half was visible. Grade 3, only the epiglottis was visible, and grade 4, only the heart, even the epiglottis was not visible. Now in modified Cormack-Lehane scale, what was done? This grade 2 was further divided into 2A and 2B. Now in 2A, the glottic opening was let's say half visible, and in 2B only the arytenoid and very posterior part of the glottic opening was visible, right? 3, 4 and 1 remained the same. Further modification was done in later on in which 3A and 3B was divided. So what did I just now said? For the Cormack-Lehane, original Cormack-Lehane grade scale, we have 4 grades. Grade 1, most of the glottic opening was visible. Grade 2, only the posterior extremity of the glottic opening was visible. Grade 3, only the epiglottis. Grade 4, neither glottis nor epiglottis. In modified version, 2A and 2B was divided, in which 2A only the part of the vocal cord was visible. A part of the vocal cord was visible. 2B only arytenoids and very posterior portion of the vocal cord was visible. Now in POGO, definitely this will change. Percentage of glottic opening. In case of 2A, it could be, let's say, 0 to let's say 70-80%, and in 2B it can be simply 0% of the POGO. And definitely from 2A and 2B the difficulty would change. And further modification was done in which grade 3 was divided. Epiglottis can be seen in 3A, only epiglottis was seen in 3. If 3A, if the epiglottis could be lifted up, and 3B if epiglottis could not be lifted up. It could be seen but it could not be lifted up. So the references for these was original Cormack was grading system. Lehane was first published in Anesthesia in 1984. The first modification was published in Anesthesia journal in 1998 by Lehane, and Cook further modified it and published in Anesthesia 2000 issue. Okay. Now the next grading system, as I said, is POGO score, percentage of glottic opening visible. POGO score, that is percentage of glottic opening visible. And I said as it gives a more precise estimate. It gives a more precise estimate, right? So if someone has a POGO score of 10 or 50 or 90, this convey an important difference in difficulty in intubation. If someone has a POGO score of 10, definitely difficulty would be higher. If someone has a POGO score of 90, difficulty would be much less. So it gives a gradation and over a wide range. And in video laryngoscope, when we compare two video laryngoscope, definitely POGO score is much commonly used than Cormack-Lehane grading system. So we will just discuss some questions related to Cormack-Lehane and POGO system, and then further we will continue our discussion. How do we correlate Cormack-Lehane grading system and POGO system? So first question, an anesthesiologist perform direct laryngoscopy on an adult. Upon visualizing the larynx, they note that vocal cords can be seen from interarytenoid notch halfway to anterior commissure. What is the percentage of glottic opening? Score is visible. So we have to see from interarytenoid to the anterior commissure. This is, if fully visible, it is 100%. They are saying it is halfway. So definitely the POGO score is 50%. The POGO score is 50%. So visualizing halfway makes the POGO score 50%. Now, during direct laryngoscopy of an obese patient, you visualize the posterior portion of the vocal cord and the arytenoid. So it is mostly the patient has 2B. but the anterior commissure is not visible. Which of the following best describes this Cormack-Lehane grading and corresponding POGO score? So Cormack-Lehane grade 1, this is not there. Cormack 2A, we will see a good part of the let's say glottic opening. So it is not 2A and 2A, 2B, grade 2B and POGO score less than 50%. So this would be the right. Okay, next. You are managing a patient with known difficult airway. During direct laryngoscopy, you achieve a view with where only the tip of epiglottis is visible, corresponding to Cormack-Lehane grade 3B. You decide to use gum elastic bougie to facilitate intubation. What is the impact of bougie placement? So mostly in grade 3 of Cormack-Lehane, we always use a assist. We either use a stillate or a bougie, or we change to the videolaryngoscope. So what will this bougie do? Videolaryngoscope will improve the visualization of the glottic opening. But would the bougie do the same thing? The CL grade improves. The bougie can never improve the CL grade. The CL grade improves. Again, the bougie can never improve the CL grade. The CL grade remains unchanged. Bougie facilitates the intubation without necessarily improving the laryngeal view. Yes, bougie assists in intubation, but it cannot improve the CL grade. If you want to improve the CL grade, you have to change to videolaryngoscope. Okay, so this is how we put a stillate in the when we have a grade 3 Cormack-Lehane grade 3. What we do, we make an angle at the tip of let's say 30 to 35 degree. That is hockey stick shape we make, and the stillate should be just on the tip of the tube. It should not go beyond the tip of the tube. It can cause injury, so you have to be very careful. Okay, now let's match the CL grade and POGO percentage. CL grade 1, that is full view of the vocal cord, it's a POGO 100% score. CL grade 2, that is partial view of cord, that is anterior commissure is only hidden. POGO can be 1% to 99%, the whole range. Generally more than 50%. Grade 2B, only the posterior cord, POGO is always less than 50%. Often 0% when only arytenoid is seen. Grade 3A, only epiglottis is visible, POGO is 0%. Grade 3B, only epiglottis, it's always 0% POGO. And grade 4, POGO is 0%, right? So when we encounter the CL grade 3 view, right, during laryngoscopy, what do we do to employ? What are the rescue steps? There are few things which we can do. Number one, we can optimize the ergonomics. The positioning may not be good, right? So we ensure the patient is in proper sniffing position. Patient is in proper sniffing position. We elevate the head of the obese patient into ramped position. We optimize the ergonomics. Then external laryngeal manipulation. The burp maneuver can help us in improving the visibility of the larynx. So burp maneuver on the thyroid cartilage to bring the glottis into view. Backward, upward and rightward pushing of the thyroid cartilage. Introduce a bougie. Now blindly pass a gum elastic bougie just beneath the epiglottis. Feel for the tactile tracheal clicks or a hold up sign in the bronchi, and then thread the endotracheal tube. This works very well if you just see the epiglottis. Now you can use a directly tube with a stillate with the tube shaped in a hockey stick, right? Switch to videolaryngoscope. Now nowadays we do this only. Switch to videolaryngoscope, which will definitely improve our view, and use a hyperangulated videolaryngoscope like CMAC blade, etc. For full information on videolaryngoscope, please see our topic, the videolaryngoscope, in Learn Anesthesia app. Now, how videolaryngoscopy changed the score? Now, videolaryngoscopy improves the baseline view. It bypasses oral, pharyngeal and laryngeal axis alignment, and it frequently converts CL grade 3 or 4 into CL grade 1 or 2A view. It has been seen in various studies. It inflates the POGO score. Now, because the camera sits on the tip of the blade, it provides a panoramic close-up look. This significantly increases the POGO score, often jumping from 0 to more than 50-80%. But one important thing you should keep in mind, what look good is not always good. Look good, do bad is a paradox. Now we may get a very good view, but intubation can still be a difficulty. So always when you are using a video laryngoscope, use a stylet which has been provided with that video laryngoscope, or use your own stylet, right? So a rigid piece-shaped stylet should always be used, which will make the success of the intubation better. So this is how we let's say switch to video laryngoscope in case of difficult direct laryngoscopy, right? I hope you have understood. Thank you.